If anyone dies, move the body to another room in the house. Label the body with name and address, and cover it as tightly as possible in polythene, paper, sheets or blankets.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mr. Smelly Fragrance Review channel. So, a follow-up video today to one that I did a couple of weeks ago where I talked about the possibility of using Eau de Cologne as an alternative to hand sanitizer. Of course, everybody around the world knows with this huge health crisis that we've got going on at the moment, a lot of people are running out of certain things that would be maybe helpful to protect against it. One of the main ones, of course, face masks is one. The other main one is hand sanitizer, which sold out where I am in the world, in the UK, in most shops very, very quickly as this thing began to escalate. So it's very hard to get that. Hand sanitizing gels, of course, the main thing that they use to clean germs off your hands is alcohol. And therefore anything that you can get that's not going to really harm your hands or your skin that has a high percentage of alcohol. I've heard different figures, some say 60%, but certainly I think over 70% alcohol, that's going to kill germs on your skin, on your hands. So anything you can get that is over 70% alcohol that won't harm your hands should kill germs on your skin. So other alternatives to hand sanitizer include going to your local chemist and getting rubbing alcohol, but guess what? Many people thought of that already, so it's pretty much all sold out. So the other one that probably hasn't sold out yet, and it certainly hasn't where I am in the world, is Eau de Cologne. So the one that I chose to highlight is the famous 4711 cologne. Now, the reason I'm revisiting this is because I want to clarify things a little bit. So 4711 is a famous Eau de Cologne. You can get this very inexpensively. I picked up this 300ml bottle for around about £15 on Amazon UK, not sponsored. And I think that it says 86% volume, so it's 86% alcohol. So that's well and truly enough. And it's inexpensive. You're getting a lot for £15. That could last you, hopefully, the whole of this outbreak, assuming it doesn't go on eternally. And it's a great substitute. The other thing that you're looking for, of course, you don't want to spend a lot of money. Now this is where I want to clarify, because I kind of said you need to get an Eau de Cologne because they're mostly alcohol, lower concentration of perfume oil, and therefore they're going to be over the amount that you need. But in fact, having thought about it and looked into it, even most of your average eau de toilettes and even eau de parfums are usually well above 70% alcohol. So even that bottle of Chanel, if I know a lot of people watching this might not be my normal fragrance review viewers. Maybe you've come across the video looking for hand sanitizer DIY alternatives. So that bottle of Chanel or Acqua di Gio or whatever that you've got is going to be over the requisite amount of alcohol to clean your hands. However, those cost more money. You might not want to waste them on this because you're going to be using it hopefully quite a lot to keep your hands clean throughout the day. And also some of them have quite powerful smells that you don't want to necessarily have all over your hands because you're going to use probably more than you would put on yourself. You could spray them into your hands and use them, but it might come off that you're smelling too strong, that you might not want that. The good thing about things like 4711 from, I think it's Mora and Wirtz, the company, or who makes it nowadays? Originally it was a company called Mora and Wirtz. I think that's the case now, but anyhow, it is a very pleasant, clean, inoffensive, citrusy smell, a bit like the kind of smell you would get from maybe your hand gel or your hand wash type of thing. It's not going to bother anyone. So this makes it a great option to use. I don't mind smelling of this if you are wearing a perfume too. It's not going to interfere with that massively. The smell doesn't last that long. Some people complain about that when they're using it as a cologne to smell nice, but it's just a really fresh, natural citrus, neroli, some leaves of the orange plants type of aromas here. Very clean and pleasant smelling. Some people compare it actually slightly to the smell of Savlon, which again is something people use as an antiseptic type product. It's got that kind of smell, but not in a nasty chemically antiseptic way. So you just rub that liberally on yourself and it should do a similar job to a hand sanitizing gel. Other alternatives, I picked up an Akai Colonia Turkish one in a Turkish shop near me. I think it was about £4 for a whacking, £4.99 for a whacking 300ml. You can find these type of Turkish colognes on eBay and they just smell of lemon, cheap kind of lemony smell, but it's perfectly pleasant. it's pleasant. It doesn't smell as lovely and complex as a lovely perfume, but it's decent stuff. They're used in barbershops, sometimes Turkish barbers, and again, they're mostly alcohol, well over the limit of 70% that you need, and a great alternative. And of course, a big bottle like that for only £4 or £5, even better value than the 4711. So that makes a really good option. You can find those online and maybe in some shops around the world, and they are really a great alternative. So that is my tip from the top for you guys. Don't forget, if you'd like to join the Smelly Army private members club over on Patreon, there's a link in the description to do that. It costs just $2 a month and you get an extra video from me every week, plus you get to watch everything I've already uploaded in there. We're building a really nice community, lots of interaction, and I'd love to see you in there. The other thing I want to talk about a little bit in this video is what happens with YouTube now for fragrance reviewers. Just this week I felt a little bit like I've seen quite a few videos go up. I'm not knocking anyone for doing it, but they're kind of ignoring the whole crisis, the worldwide issue. You know, top 10 spring fragrances, a new release that they're reviewing excitedly, and I've just thought, just don't really want to think about that right now, because there's this huge overriding issue that we're all focused on around the world. So what's going to happen to YouTube in general, and maybe our particular corner of it, the fragrance reviewing world, now that we've got this intense crisis going on? I think that certainly now that we have got used to, maybe, or just beginning to get used to the fact that this virus thing is going to be going on for quite a few weeks, if not many months more, we're going to have to carry on with some kind of normal life. And of course, entertainment, with many people spending more time at home than they would normally, is going to be a big important part of keeping people's morale up and just all helping us get through the day. So whatever you're into, whether it's sport, whether it's gaming, whatever channels you like to watch on YouTube, we do need those to keep going and keep putting out the fun content that hopefully we all enjoy. So therefore, I certainly think that I'll be going ahead as normal with my fragrance reviews. You can still, as far as I know, and hopefully will continue to be able to, buy fragrances online. So I'll still be picking up new stuff to review. And although perhaps thinking about my top 10 summer holiday fragrances might be out now, because I might not be going on holiday because of the travel restrictions around the world, I'll still be making all those kind of videos, and we'll see how the situation plays out as far as, are any of us going to have a night out again? Are we going to go on a date again? Because the world kind of shut down. So do we need a best dating fragrance? Do we need a best nights out fragrance? Do we need a best summer fragrance? Well, it's still going to be springtime, it's still going to be some summertime, and many of us with this hobby are still going to be collecting and enjoying our fragrances and spraying them at home. At least that's not harming anyone, is it? And of course, neither is making a YouTube video here in my front room. I can do that without spreading any diseases. So I'm going to be carrying on with normal content. I feel sorry for people who do YouTube where maybe the thing that their YouTube channel's about can't happen anymore. I watch some channels about football. There ain't no football anymore. So what do those poor people do? They have to do, videos about top 10 players from the last 10 years or whatever. So they're going to be struggling. Anybody whose thing involves going out socially, anyone who does kind of more vlogging type things where they socially interact with people, it's going to be very hard for them, isn't it? But luckily, we just talk about these little bottles of perfume, so we can talk about those. Brief word on my own release, actually. Gravitas Pour Homme, thank you so much to the people who've bought it. We've sent that out to the people in the UK now. They, I think, have all received their bottles, the ones who bought it on Kickstarter, and it will be going out to the people in the USA and European countries and everywhere else that it was available very, very soon if you ordered yours. We're really sorry for the delay. It is more difficult than anyone could possibly believe to start a very small fragrance company and ship your fragrances out to the USA and even Europe. It's quite complicated. We did anticipate that, we knew that, but some hitches came up at the last minute. There were some problems with some of the materials to make this rather lovely bottle, some of which came from abroad. There were some customs hold-ups. All this kind of stuff slowed us down a lot, and we are really sorry, but we think that the final product will be well worth the wait. The reception and the reaction that we've got from the UK people who've got it so far has been absolutely tremendous. Most of them blind bought it, or pretty much all of them blind bought it, because there were no samples. And we're thrilled about that. We're hoping to have samples available soon, and that will be the first place that I'm going to make them available is over at Fragrance Samples UK. I will actually link them in the description of this video. The samples aren't there yet, but we're going to fix that very soon. And that is my recommended place around the world to buy fragrance samples. They ship in, of course, the UK, but also 14 EU countries where you can just order on the website. And If you're elsewhere in the world, if you go to order there and it comes up with the options at checkout and you're not one of them, for example, if you're in the USA where it's not one of the options, you just email them at info@fragrancesamplesuk.com and they can get your order out to you there. And if you're watching this the day or a couple of days after I make this, which is the 20th, Friday the 20th of March 2020, they've got a special offer there, which if you use the code BESTRONG, BESTRONG, they've got 10% off across the whole site, which I think is a great offer. So they're going to have it hopefully to sample soon, because a lot of people have been asking me about that. Great reception on it. Thank you to everybody. And of course, if you were just tuning in to find out about the hand sanitizer thing, you've probably turned off by now, but I hope you find that a little bit helpful. Of course, mainly following sensible advice about staying home. Of course, if you're near a sink, wash your hands, that's better, but this is handy if you're out and about and perhaps you can't. You can put them in a smaller container or in your bag. This one just about fits in my jacket pocket. These could be slightly helpful, but it's only a very small part of the solution to this immensely huge problem. Thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. Bye-bye.
Smelly. Mr. Smelly.